Hi everyone, this is Jose Maldonado with ProcessMaker, and today I want to show you a quick look on our newest release of ProcessMaker, and particularly an example that combines the power of workflow execution with ProcessMaker alongside other integrated services. Today we're going to take a look at how you can leverage ProcessMaker with workflow, specifically with AWS's Textract, which is an OCR solution that can extract text from an uploaded image. And we'll also use UiPath to fire off a robot to perform a simple manual operation, but that can be very cumbersome if you want to escalate and do it over and over again as part of your workflow. So for that, let me quickly show you here a process design that we have. And this is a very simple example, a simplified example of a loan application. If you follow the design, you'll realize it's pretty straightforward. An applicant will fill out a website form, basically requesting for the loan. And this will go into a couple of parallel system routes that will perform the following. On one hand, we will send a driver's license that was part of the attachment provided in the form as an image file. And we're going to send it to AWS Textract to scan and extract text from that. And then we're going to send that off to UiPath. That's going to use the name that it found on the driver's license to perform a sanctions list lookup. This is a manual process that would involve visiting the OFAC sanctions search website and manually typing in a search name in the form, filling it out, and extracting the results. So in this example, a UiPath robot is actually going to take care of that and just provide the results back to ProcessMaker for further processing. Once that's done, or rather parallel to that, we're also going to scan a W-2 form, a tax and wage statement that should have been provided as well as part of the form. And from there, we can then compare wages and different financial information with the information provided in the form. Once all that information comes back, we'll apply business rules script within ProcessMaker that's basically going to evaluate, do the names match? Did we find any results in the sanctions list? Are there any other disparities that we can flag, etc.? And from there, we perform a very simple decision gateway that will route the workflow accordingly. If nothing came up as unusual, then we will send an email to the requester, basically notifying of the pre-approval of the request. And otherwise, we will notify an analyst that should then review the request. So let's run through an example real quick and see how a few of these things work. So for that, we have over here, this is a mock bank website. And over here at the loans and credit sections, we have embedded one of ProcessMaker's web entry forms directly in the site. And this is a feature of ProcessMaker where you can take one of your screens or forms and publish it to make it part of an external site. So I'm just going to go ahead and select a personal loan, and you'll notice that a lot of the information is already pre-filled in. So for this demo, we just created this form so that a lot of the information is already there, so we can sort of zoom past it, but you get the idea. So I'm going to go ahead and type in here Ms. Karen Elizabeth Sample, who is our requesting individual. Well, we'll leave the information as is. This is one of my demo email accounts, so we can get the notifications. Notice over here it's nudging us to upload the driver's license. So I'm going to go ahead and select a file. And over here, notice I have a scan of Miss Karen Sample's driver's license from Kansas driver license. So that file we are going to send to Amazon further down the workflow. All right, so the requester should go ahead and fill out the different sections. Notice we already pre-filled what is the amount you're requesting, the length. So I'm just going to go and skip past that. Some information I do want to punch manually, so we can try different values across different examples. So we're going to upload a tax statement that you'll see in a few seconds. Has wages for just about 48,000. So I'm going to go ahead and write 48,000 as the wages in my financials. Everything else I'll leave as it comes. And let's say we were asking for $3,400, or rather we're reporting $3,400 as annual debt payments. So now we have to attach the corresponding W-2 form. So over here I have a scan of Miss Karen Elizabeth's W-2, and notice the wages. It's 48, 276, 92. So it's close enough to the 48 that I punched in here, and we have that tolerance. If it's close enough, we'll assume that it's just fine. Okay, so I won't add any other information. Of course, we can customize these forms to capture any information or any attached fields that make sense. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and submit that. And once this is done, I can go ahead and get out of here. So a couple of things are going to happen. If we come back here into ProcessMaker and monitor the console, now when I zoom into all the requests that are in progress, you'll notice that we just fired off a new loan application, number 94, and that one in turn fired a sub-process to sending to UiPath. So that happens is, notice over here, if I peek into UiPath's platform, its orchestrator, I can see that a new OFAC lookup is running. So what this is doing is basically it's pinging a robot that we have on a Windows machine that's performing that search out of the information that AWS has already sent there. So let's just come back and wait for a result, for something to happen over here. All right. All right, and you'll notice that we got a notification. And when we ping it, it says request completed, loan application. What this means is if I come to my demo account, notice here we have a new message that says loan pre-approved. So dear Karen Elizabeth, your loan is looking good. This just came in. So this means if we revisit our design, this was the route that was taken. All the information seemed to be working just fine. So conversely, if we follow that notification, we see just all the information as it resulted in the request. So this is our request. We can see, the different tasks that were completed, etc. Now let's try this one more time, but let's purposefully change some of the information in order to fire off those alerts that are being read out of the OCR extract process and the UiPath process. So I'm going to go visit again our bank page. And let me just revisit our loans and credit lines page. And now, if you'll bear with me, this example, I'm going to fill this out as Miss Karen Bin Laden. And now when we upload a driver's license, I'm going to upload this driver's license that I found in Google. And it's a California driver's license for Mr. Osama Bin Laden. So let's just attach that. That way, that name is the one that's going to be sent to the sanctions list search by UiPath. So let me just keep the rest of the information similar. This time, let's just say that we're going to add a different wage amount, 55. But I don't have a W-2 for Mr. Bin Laden, so let's just reuse Karen Elizabeth's. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Any value at the debt payments. All right, and once we're there, I'm going to go ahead and submit this. What this means is, let's peek into the orchestrator, and this should fire off. Yeah, notice how a new job started to execute here. This means that our ProcessMaker has already executed the text extract part, has already read the text out of the W-2 and the driver's license and now sent it to UiPath, where hopefully a different result will be sent than our first example. Let's come back here to our requests tab and notice that now we've got another notification here at our bell icon, and this one is actually a different task. It's an analyst review. Before I click on that, this should also mean that, if I visit my email client, now we have a different notification. This was sent to our manager, and it says, a loan application requires your attention, right? Number 98 has been flagged for secondary review, and there's a link in there. So that would take us directly to our task list to review that. And now when we click in here, we get a screen where all those inconsistencies and warnings are displayed. So notice how we were able to determine that the reported names do not match. If you remember, I typed in Karen Bin Laden in the form. That does not match the driver's license, which is actually on behalf of Osama Bin Laden. And that does not match the W-2 form, which is the original W-2 form for Karen Elizabeth Sample. Notice also we were able to understand that the wages, as they were reported on the form, did not match those 48,276 that were read out of the actual W-2 form. Also, additional fields. Notice that, the driver's license provided was for California and not Kansas, which matched the information in the form and the W-2. And of course, the OFAC report did identify that Mr. Bin Laden is part of the global terrorist list with a risk score of 100. And that's just part of the results that's sent out of UiPath. So in this quick example, we saw how a request has been assisted by automation pieces that are even driven by external, best-in-class solutions on their own, but they're all tied in together in a very easy-to-follow approach. And that way, this can escalate quickly where maybe loan reviewers or analysts only need to zoom into those cases that really need to drive their attention, but also just automating and help alleviating the load on those requests that are much more in line with ordinary business rules. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching.